Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Blessing Anidi of Daffodil Crafts. So before we get into this video, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and also turn on the notification bells. So for today, we'll be making this beautiful shoulder bag. This video will be coming in two parts, so this is the part one. So the materials we'll be needing is our leather. I'm actually using this thick leather for this bag because I don't want to use fiber. So the next thing you'll be needing is your ruler, your measuring tape, your chalk or your disappearing pen, and also you'll be needing your scissors and your cutter. Other than this, we'll be needing the zipper and other accessories for the bag. The accessories come in two sizes, so I've decided to use the bigger size for this particular bag. So the first thing we're going to do before we start making this bag is make our pattern. Mind you, I'm using a plain sheet to make this pattern. You can use a cardboard paper, something bigger, or you can use brown paper. So because I'm using a plain sheet, I won't be giving the exact measurement I use for the bag. I'll just show you the pattern and how I got the pattern for the bag. That's all. So you can use your own measurement how you want it. So first off, fold your paper into whatever paper you're using, whether brown paper or cardboard, like so. After folding into, you want to start with your measurement. And the first thing I measured is the curve. If you notice, this bag has a curve where the zipper is, so that's where you measure first. You measure depending on how you want it. Now if the full measurement you want for that curve is 4 inches, remember that your paper is already folded in two, so you are going to divide that 4 by half in two. I mean to say, after dividing it by 2, 4 divided by 2 is 2, so you are going to measure 2, because by the time you open it you have your full 4 inch. Now after measuring that curved part, the next measurement I did was the handle part. That one you're using just one measurement, that part is not folded, you're using one measurement for it, so I measured 1 inch there. Now on this part, you determine how deep you want your curve to be, so you measure from that point down to where you want your curve to be, whatever measurement you want. So I measured 3 inches over here. Okay, after measuring the 3 inches, you can now determine from the curve downwards how long you want your bag to be. Remember, I'm using a plain paper, so I'm using all the part I have left for this. Now next thing you want to do is the curve of the bag. The curve, that was the down part. So this area you can use either 1 inch or 2 inch, depending on how well you want your curve to be. So just watch the pattern. So after marking this curve, the next thing I did was I got my ruler and then I began to connect the dots. So the first dot I connected is I drew a straight line from the deep zip area down to where I want my curve to stop. Okay, after doing that, then I connected the dot from that part down to this other side. Now we have a rectangular shape. Inside that corner, you just give it a slant, small curve, just a small one. Then the next thing I did was get my pen and also mark this curve that we did underneath, connect the dots. Now after connecting those dots, the next thing you want to do is, you see this last line where I said it's the handle part, you can just use your free hand to mark it, or you use a ruler to draw a straight line first, like so you know where you're using your free hand to draw your pattern from. Now after drawing the straight line, you now give it a shaped curve, the way you want your bag to be shaped. Okay, just like so, you shape it like that, and as you can see, it's already forming. It's already coming to life. It's already giving shape. So you curve it like so, and then after you've successfully done this, you cut this pattern out, and your pattern for this bag is actually ready. So after successfully cutting that part out, you now open your paper in two, and ooh la la, our pattern is ready. So you can take this, place it on any leather you want to use, and just draw it out. And please take note that you need 2 pieces of this for your bag. two pieces of this pattern for your bag. And our pattern is ready. Now let's get into the bag properly. So like I said earlier, I'll be using this black thick material for this particular bag. Now get your pattern, place it on top of the leather and draw it out. So that's what I'll be doing first. So I'm done drawing my pattern, but I was just trying to make sure that it's really clear so I don't make mistakes while cutting. So after cutting out your pattern, just to clear your conscience, you can just fold it in half like so. Go in, if you see any maybe extra side that is not, you feel is not properly done, you can just do this and trim that excess part out. With that being said, we finally cut out our pattern. Now you place the first cut out pattern on your leather and cut out the second part. Just trace out and cut out the second part. Now we have both sides ready to work with. The next thing you want to cut is the side of the bag. Okay, I'm going to be cutting the side of the bag. So pick one part of the pattern, fold in half like so, and give it a notch. Please take note, make sure that when you fold, your sides are equal, so you don't give notch in the part where it's not the middle. Okay, give it a notch. Now that is the notch. Now after notching, you take your tape, measure from the notched area round to the top handle area. So after measuring, I got 16.5, but on the side I measured 19.5. I added like 3 inches to it because of a curve that is at the top of the side of the bag. Okay, yes, that particular curve, it goes in. When we make the bag, I'll show you where that curve comes in. So for the sides of the bag, I measured 3 inch plus 2.5, but that was a big mistake because when I later started sewing, I noticed that the side was too big, so I had to still reduce it. So you can reduce based on your preference. You can get your measurement based on your own preference. So you'll be needing 2 pieces for the side of the bag. One goes round the left area from the notch to the left part of the bag, the top part where the handle will be, and one moves from that same point round to the other top where the handle will be. Now after doing this, you want to make sure that you have that curve, the extra for the curve. Okay, now everything is ready. The next thing we want to do now is cut out the handle for our bag. Before you cut out the handle, please get your accessory, measure to know the length, so you know exactly what width you'll be measuring for your bag, so it doesn't be that your bag handle is wider than the accessory you're using. I got 1, so I'll be measuring 2 for the width of the handle of my bag. So by the time I fold it into, I'll be having 1 inch left. So this is me marking the handle of the bag. And the full length I used for this is 25, which was also a mistake because by the time I fixed it on the bag, I noticed that it was longer, so I had to still cut it short, and like I had to reduce the length of the handle because I wanted something shorter than what I actually got. So the next thing I did was I cut out 2 pieces of extra material because it was fixed somewhere. So I'll be adding an overlay to show you where that particular leather will be fixed. We have everything ready, so let's get into sewing. So we'll get one part of the pattern and get our zipper. That's the first thing we'll be attaching to this bag. Mind you, I'm making this bag for myself, so I won't be using lining. But if you're making for a client, please make sure you use lining for this. So this is me here putting it together and sewing up my pattern and the zipper together. So after sewing that part, we'll get one part of the side part of the bag, and then we'll sew it in also. Now please take note, you're not sewing side by side. Now the body of the bag will be on top of the side, like so. We are going to be sewing it on top as if we are top stitching. Please watch. Yes, like that. See, one is underneath and the body of the bag is on top of the side, so we are going to give it a straight stitch down. After sewing and turning inside out, you should have this. The bag should look like this, okay? Now we're going to be sewing the second part of the bag, but before I did that, I first of all top stitched this area. Now get the second side of the bag, and sew it in. So the second part will be going underneath the first side, like so. Okay, really you have to loosen a little bit of where you sewed before, so that place can go in. And please, when sewing, sew on top of the initial line. The thing is, I was supposed to do this before top stitching, but I didn't. So when you're sewing it, sew on top of the initial line so it doesn't look rough. Sewn both sides and turned it inside out. Now this is the bag. This is what we have. Okay, it's already coming to life. The next thing we want to do is remove the zipper, one side of it, and sew it to the other parts, the other pattern of the bag. Please take note that I'm not using lining for this bag. So after sewing it round, I decided to fold in the extra clothing, the zip clothing, and top stitched. I did this on this part and also on the first pattern side of the bag. So we'll be stopping here for now. The second part of the bag will be carrying how I fixed the handle and the sides of the bag and how I coupled the whole thing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying with me. See you in the next video.